name is Audrey Langston, and I am originally from Chicago, Illinois. Chi-Town will always be home for me, but I currently reside in Houston, Texas. And I just want to give God praise for 40 Plus Double Dutch, our founders, for bringing us together, even if it's just one time a year that we can get together and hear beautiful testimonies like that. My testimony actually began in 1992 when I was a newly minted Chicago police officer. And I worked very hard to get through the police academy because I had just had a child who was only 6 months old. And it was very difficult going through all of that and having a 14-year-old. One weekend I was celebrating my birthday out of town with a friend, and I became very, very sick. Not knowing what was going on with me, I was having this major desire to constantly urinate, but with very little urine output. I had a severe headache. I wasn't a headache person often. It was excruciating. So many other symptoms, but by the next morning, those symptoms had worsened so much that I had to wake up my party and say, I got to get home. Something's wrong with me. So en route, I became so unresponsive in certain areas. I wasn't social. I was agitated. It wasn't like me. We stopped at the ladies' restroom. I had to continue to use it. And when we got back in the car, someone asked me 5 minutes later, where's your purse? And I said, I don't know and I don't care. Leave me alone. And come to find out, that person, and I found some of this out later. I was a little out of it. I didn't know I had even done all of this. They went back to that station and there was my purse on the side in the women's bathroom of the toilet with my duty weapon in it, my badge, about $200 in cash. I mean, I couldn't believe this story when I heard it. I fell asleep in the car on the way back to Chicago. I opened my eyes and I couldn't see. I went completely blind. And that's when I felt them step on the gas. And they took me to the hospital. As I ended up finding out, I was suffering from kidney loss. About 35% of one of my kidneys was gone. And that was my body signaling that something was wrong. Okay? And so I was admitted, of course. The next morning, the doctor told me, well, here's the deal. Not in a very good doctor. There you go. That's right. Here's the deal. You have a kidney disease, and it took me a while to say this name. It's going to be long, called focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. And I'm like, what the monkey is that? You know, what? Well, we call it FSGS, so just call it that. So the deal is, one of your kidneys is at 35% loss. It's going to continue to decrease, and it's going to destroy your other kidney. So soon, you're going to be looking at needing a transplant. And if you don't get it right away, you'll have to endure dialysis. So my life was shattered. All I could think about was my children. Oh God, what about my poor kids? You know, I was a single mom. And as God would have it, I'm going to speed it up. Throughout the next 8 years, I did some lifestyle changes. I stopped eating beef and pork. I didn't do salt. I didn't do soda. It was hard, but I did it. And I was already in fact, in the greatest shape of my life coming out the academy. So that definitely wasn't it. Mr. T's brother was my physical instructor, and he wasn't no joke. So that was the easy part because I was already there. But what was hard, I was getting tired, to the point where I was facing dialysis within that 8-year period. That was grueling. I had to dialyze 10 hours all night long, 10 and a half hours, disconnect the machine, jump in the shower, and I would get in my uniform and go to work every day. And thank the Lord, my son's best friend offered to give me a kidney. Here comes the praise. We were a great match. We were a great God-sent match. And we went in the hospital that Friday, March 4th, and we had the transplant. The next day, he went home. And that Sunday, which was also my 43rd birthday, I went home with my kidney. And the amazing thing, it took me a couple years to realize, ladies, that here we are, here I am, I got sick the weekend of my birthday. And all those years later, God blessed me the weekend of my birthday. So March 4th, I just celebrated. I have defied the medical odds of how long a kidney is supposed to last. And I celebrated the 20th year of my You never know what his plan is for us, but you can believe he got a plan. And I want you ladies to pay close attention to your health. Don't be dismissive of that. It's the little things